Hey people, I was sharing that last movie with Twitter where I have less than one follower. And I only follow Elon Musk. And it like he done caught on. He figured out the recipe in the chemtrails. And he calls it diabolical. You know, diabol, that's the devil. The devil call. That's what's in the recipe. The devil's call. And he better watch his step, because some of us get shut down when we mention the word chemtrails. So in that last movie, I started this John greets the seven churches, and it's talking about Saturn and the time to renew. So before I start to bore y'all, I want to show y'all something real interesting. And it's what I've been working on. I've been trying to get down here. And I seen there was a lot of difficult stuff come before it. And it was down here in this right hand, you know, Vav, and each on in that Dexia, the Dexia share. And so out there on the main deck, you know, sometime we share decks, we get to boxing, you know, and in the Dexia share. And so Yah is the name in your right hand. I saw it in the Hebrew years ago. Was one of the things that caught me, where I thought I was reading it, and he wrote his name on my right hand. And I don't remember what they interpreted, but that's what I read. And I looked in my right hand, and I saw the Yah. And they'll confuse it with Jimmy in the Hebrew now. But that's the base word for the right hand, Yah. It's also the base word for the moon and the god of Egypt. And that's just more proof that this is a sailor's language, you know, and it's the hand, the right hand is the one that decks you. You know, the left, that's just jab, but don't let the right catch you. You know, he is holding in the right hand, and each on in the Dexia share. Of Tova as stars, you know, of come out the stars. The septa vectu, you know, the septa vec v of vectu. You know, septa is plural of septum. Is to enclose wall or fence, a wall separating two cavities, or partition. So it's plural, partitions, to vector. And so they weren't fighting on the deck, they were out on the deck watching the stars come out to vector. You know, each on in the deck's share of Toa come out a star as septivec, to divide them up the vector, to chart them. And I'm sure this is where your word sextant comes from, and that's used to take a degree, and it's named for its sixth here. You have a 60-degree arc of a circle, but with the mirror it'll shoot 120 degrees. And so in this eyepiece, she's looking at the horizon in one part of the eyepiece, and then adjusting this mirror so the star she's looking at will sit in the other part of the eyepiece, so they'll both come together, so you can look through one eye and get it lined up. Then you can step back and look at the number you're pointing at. So if you was just to build one of these out of a speed square without the mirrors, you know, you'd be looking at a quadrant. It would just be showing you 90 degrees. And if you was to rig one up with a mirror, you know, that quadrant would be called an octant, where it only shoots 90 degrees, but that's all you need is from the horizon to direct overhead. And back in the day, before it was cut into degrees, it was just houses of the moon. So there would be 28 or 29. And that would be where this septa comes in. You know, a septa would be a quarter of the sky. 14 is half. 28 would be the entire circle of 360 degrees. 28 moons of Toa come out a star as septivec, to divide them up the vector, to chart them. Two was tomatoes, of two. You know, you say it tomatoes, I say tomatoes, but it's the same spelling, it's the same number. So this word was tomatoes. It means matos, that which comes out of the stove. You know, what's stored away was tomatoes, was that which was come out of two. So it's more like septa vectu, vast tomatoes, you know, to that which comes out of the vast, V-O-S-T, the vast tomatoes, of to vorum pay, you know, vor, V-O-R, carnivore, to digest, and to digestum, to vorum paedistum as, the vorum paedistum as, and the paid, you know, pay adistum, or the fade, the faded, the fade is to them, you know, how bright they are, as, and oxia, and that's where your word oxum comes from. You know, it means something that's concentrated. But it's that's where your word bullseye comes from. And it used to be the ox eye. This little line up here, that's an E-Y-E, the ox eye. And then the A reads with the E as E-S. Oxi iscoper. You know, the A-E is E-S-K-P-O-R-E. Iscoper means broom in every language. Iscoba or iscopa, literally meaning broom, but also to sweep. And the ox scopher, the ox-eye scuffer, bullseye, the broom, and women who hopes is of two voos, of Helios fame, they in that dynamy jaw two of. You know, women is no man backwards. Nemo, N-E-M-O. That's Latin for no man. And it's actually just backwards, women. And the women who, H-U, who hops, H-O-P-S, the hops is. The ones that jump on the broom, the hops is of two voos, V-O-O-S, the evils. The voos of the sun of Helios feign they. Feign is like cellophane. It means the colors shining through. Not shining, but, you know, it feigns, it appears to be like Helios. The feign they in that dynamics is when something, it all is working together, it works at its full strength in its dynamic jaw come out, you know, the J-A-W, the jaws talking toa to come out of. And I miss that here, you know, when to each on in that dexia share, and here's that J again, to share the jaw too, to share the jaw too, you know, share the talking about the jaw too. And so jaw is most probably part of the name, coming from the yaw. He is holding in the right hand the yaw too. You know, yaw would be the vertical oscillation, you know, the direction, the yaw. And so that's going to give you a 2-digit number that'll be part of the name. So in this ancient Jupiter figurine, you know, he's got the wheel in his left hand, and this is his sheet line in the right hand. You know, that's giving you speed. That's directing the angle of the sail. You know, that's giving you your dynamic power. So somebody had written this code book several hundred years ago, and that's what they're trying to show is this description and help give some clues about what it's about. And you can see here that it's you know, it's 7 planetary symbols, and then there's spelling in this angelical alphabet, and you see they all match up with a symbol, an alphabet and a symbol, alphabet and a symbol. with 3 on each side and 1 here. So most probably Mercury, Moon and Sun, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. And you can see all these planetary names. They all have this AL in them. They're all ending with this AL. And it's like angel names ending with AL, or God's names ending with AL. And then in Hebrew it'll have the name of 4 angels of 4 winds. And then it has 7 symbols here that are out of place. They don't match up with the angelical writings. And I think it's telling the meaning of the 7 on the top. The 4 winds and the 3 symbols. And then the knife holes here, that tells me that this is difficult. And somebody had got frustrated before and stabbed their knife into it. So this Dexia comes up a bunch more times, but never comes up with the hand beside it. And they always just say that this is the right hand. But this hand comes up again. It's the last time it comes up in 17:4. And it's talking about the woman that was Paravabliman. And as I read this, I figure I'm probably going to hell. But and the woman was is which, WH. And it means, which one. It means of a selection, to divide, which. And which gyna on, HN, which gyna on. And so that means, you got 2 sexes. You got one sex with a vagina, and then you got all the others. Paravabliman is, like pair, like compare. And it's paravable, like to pair up. It's paravable. It's like, I could pair up with her in my range, the Paravabliman. So which gyne on Paravabliman? One that I think I could get. Pour fire of on and cooking on. The one I'm working on. Which gyna on Paravabliman? Pour fire of on and cooking on. To catch or use a mean. To catch or use them. To catch or use a meaning. The meaning is what I mean to do. Cries you Lito time. You Margarita is the choose. Pottery on christen. In that share yaw that's gem on. Share some jaw that's a gem, it's a beauty. In deluge maton. What to a cater to that's porny as authits, the writer, AUTHTS, authits. And so what to cater to that's porny as saw this, as saw that is. She's not as funny as she is porny. And then back again, which gonna none, NHNN, which gonna none, Paravabliman. Pour fire round and cooking on. And the KE turns the L now. Will cries some in. And cries joys virtue. With gold, she gonna cries JOY, the joys, and virtue. I believe that's similar to Virgo. The old X was the G, the GR, VRXO. And Willet Hotel, Willet HOTEAIL, Willet Hotel time, joy, mit, the joy, mit to, with to, with of. Margarita is as watch each whose a pottery on Chryso when in when been that texture as it withs gem on in deluge maton. What to at radica cater to that's porny as it withs. So it starts, with the porny of this, she's hot, and it changes to the porniest sass it withs. So it's not talking about a visible porn, it's talking about the porn you're coming out your mouth. So a lot of the Bible's about the birds and the bees, and a lot of it's just about the dogs and the cats.
Don't forget, hooty hoot, tooty hoot. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm gonna cut this off here. Good day.